and welcome to the Gamers Table, Independent Edition. It is Friday, and we're reviewing Hero Brigade.
Hero Brigade! Hero Brigade!
Welcome to Hero Brigade, the heroic deck building and positional card battling game. In this fast-paced two-player card game, you and a friend will each select a deck, either the hero deck or the villain deck, and play the respective role of a team of heroes, the Hero Brigade, or a band of villains, the Vile Legion. Your friend is no longer your friend, he is now your bitter rival who must have great vengeance and furious anger thrust upon him.
That's like every game we play, though.
Pretty much.
It's a fun game. Lots of choices. So, I mean, the decks are even. So it comes down to a little bit of luck of the draw. But mainly, for me, I think there's a lot of strategy involved. How you play the cards.
This game comes with a deck of 20 cards for the red player with the villains, 20 blue cards for the heroes, and 50 green cards that can be used by either side.
I know I'm not a very big fan of these fighting card games like this and Magic and stuff like that. And it just mostly because, you know, you've got your opponents laying their cards out in front of them and you got yours over here and you're trying to figure what's your ability again? Let me see that card again. Oh crap, I'm trying to remember that through the whole game, picking them up and look at them. It's like
no mention anywhere of what the red and blue tokens are for. Don't know why. We know what the black meeple of first playerness is.
If they were transparent, we'd use them in 3D glasses.
And the 10-sided dice. Now, I think I've said before how I don't like when a combat card game comes out and they don't give you all the tokens, etc. that is required. Not only did these guys give you enough D10s, dice, to record every one of the fighters that you have in the game, they even gave us extra tokens that we don't even know what the hell they do yet.
Yeah.
It also gave us these bonus, awesome artwork player mats for putting your cards down in case you are not sure.
Notice they're the colors of the deck.
They are the colors of the decks.
I'm going to be red player. You're going to be blue player. All right.
It could be for deciding ties. Okay,
I don't know.
pick a hand. That's what color you are. If you're good, I want to be yours. No, I want to be yours.
Who
Pick
goes
a color
first? Yes. Who knows?
The only thing I would say about these, that either you need to, what you need to do is make the background image a little
They're too
darker.
busy.
It's hard to pick things apart, but that's a minor quibble and so forth. The game is, as I said, it's a card combat fighting game. Now we've had card combat fighting games on here before. That's right, card combat fighting game on here before, and we've generally had the same comment about them every time. They're just too long. Chris, what do you think about this one?
This one's just right. It's great. There are tons of ways to use the cards.
Call them Goldilocks.
Lots of strategy. Like this is the Excrementalist. I love the name, by the way. It's a villain. You got the front line, which is 3 cards, and the support line, which is 2 cards. So he's got powers if he's in the front, powers if he's in the support, and if you just want to play him, he also has
Not
an
on your
ability
board.
if you just play him.
Play them to your discard or whatever.
If you play him to the discard, and it's great. Like they work a little differently in the front. Some guys are stronger in the front. Some guys are stronger in the support. Sometimes there's a choice to be made, which is better. And one limitation on the board is you can't have 2 Excrementalists on the board at once.
2 of the same name.
Yeah,
Some of them have the same character, but they have different artwork on them, but they're still the same.
But that doesn't apply to any character that is a normal character. So you can have as many henchmen as you want on the deck.
Police officers.
Or henchmen.
Yes.
But now the object of this game is to either run out your opponent's deck or clear their layout card here of all their characters on a turn. All their cards on a turn. And then you win. And when you have to reshuffle to draw new cards, or say you run out your draw deck there and it's just your discard pile, you have to reshuffle right away. And every time you do that, you have to banish.
Banished.
That's the word. They banish a card. When you banish cards, they're out of your deck completely. You can't play with them anymore.
And every time one of your heroes is beaten, he has 2 numbers on him. So let's start it that way.
Their value.
He has a number at the top, which is hit points.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a number underneath called the V. It's the value. What that says is if this guy dies, whatever the V number is, those many cards more are banished out of your deck.
Off the top of your deck.
So the more you can...
You don't actually banish the hero. Or
no, the hero. Just
the hero goes to the discard pile, and
the value is...
Which kind of sucks when you've got a hero with 9 hit points, but 5 on the trash value. You'd kind of wish he got banished, because next time you come out and play it, you're going to have to put him out there again. And now he's going to do it to you again if the other guy can kill him.
You don't have to put him out. You could just play him for his playability.
That's true. You don't have to put him out.
That's true, yeah.
But when you're looking at a position, I need to squash the other guy, 9 hit points is really tempting.
Yes. And if you ever run out of heroes on the board, or villains, if you're playing the villain, you lose.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Don't do that.
And the other way to end the game is if you have run this deck down enough so there are not enough cards left to make the new set of 4.
That's what I said. Kind of.
You didn't talk about this. You
I
talked
said
about the other decks.
I said which deck you talking about?
The
green deck.
Green deck.
Green
yes,
deck.
the hard
okay.
deck to get rid of.
Not your personal deck.
No.
The
So you start
resource
the game,
deck.
You divide the decks into the 3 colors. Take your mat in front of you. Get 5 dice each. Decide however you want. Roll a couple dice, whatever. Somebody will get to be the first player. Now, then you get 4 of these cards, and you put them in the middle. They're the pool. They're common. Anybody can grab those if they have the abilities. Then you draw 4 cards from your own deck. And starting with the first player, you take turns playing 1 card, either into your mat, into your tableau, or playing it for its play value. And once everybody has played all the cards they want to, you can choose to pass and hold on to cards if you have interrupts or something that you might want to play later on. But remember, at the end of the fight round, whatever cards you have left are getting discarded. You don't get to hold them till the next round.
Draw 4 new, all new cards. Yep. Now, like as I said, this is a game where you're depleting your decks. You're trying to deplete your opponent's deck there so you can win. And drawing new cards out of that resource deck there, or right off the deck into your hand with, like, say, your police officers. I'll give you an example here. One playability. The Protector. Reduce all damage. Oh, no, that's the wrong one.
No, that's the right one. You
no, I'm reading. That's a Bert. Sorry. Police officer here. Teamwork. Discard all police officers in your hand. If you discarded 2 or more police officers this way, draw 1 card from the resource deck. So you're drawing it. You're not just acquiring it, purchasing it or something like that. So that would go right in your hand. And
for possible use right away.
Yeah, and say like anytime you draw hero cards, that would go into your hand. It's possible playabilities and stuff like that, which is really cool. You can heal cards, which is nice too, depending on their position and which character card they are in that.
Definitely cannot be ignoring the resource, the 4 resource cards that are out in the center. You need to buy cards in order to keep your deck big, because your deck gets too whittled down and you're going to end up losing the game.
Wrapping up for Hero Brigade. Theme. It is a deck building-ish
Not really.
combat game. Well, you add cards, you build cards into your
you
deck.
can build your deck. Yeah.
It's not as deck building as Dominion or something like that.
Not
but
quite,
it's not just play the cards you're dealt. You can
deck
get
tweaking
more.
game.
Yeah,
okay,
deck
sure.
tweaking, but it's not like a chaining game. Really.
No. That's the theme, and it is sort of comic book in style with Malardiction, the Duck Pope, and Madame Romalda, alien ship, Magic Tome's secret weakness. It's very much you would expect to see this in a comic book, which is kind of cool. It holds together all the stuff. The theme works. The villains are comically evil. The heroes are comically good, and the in the middle guys are stuff like Captain Mediocre, who's actually not that bad for the good guys. Because the more normals,
nice pink outfit too.
The more normals you discard, the more powerful his punch becomes. So you can actually do pretty good damage with him. So the theme is there for a deck building fighting game.
It just seemed a little redundant. Captain Mediocre is not bad.
Actually, it's more of an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Easy to play. Yeah. The rules document, it's not a book, and I would give you points off that, but I know you are kickstarting this, and this is not what it's going to end up as. The rules are probably there, but it's not going to look like this, so I'm not going to say that much about it. But the rules itself were clear.
Page numbers would have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And we would have preferred, like, if this wasn't going to Kickstarter.
Because we were shuffling it around, and what's the order again?
Yeah, the booklet style would have been nicer. There's a couple of things we had to look around for in that, but overall, it's not a bad rulebook.
I think a couple times you've got a little too much information. You're sort of over hitting the point.
Kind of redundant. A little.
So you might want to pare down the text on that. Fun to play. Yeah. It's a combat fighting game where guys can have 7 or 8 hit points on this die and die the next round. It's not a long game. If you watch the tutorial videos that they have online for this game, when they do a full playthrough, the full thing, they don't cut anything. They play it all in its 24, I believe, minutes. And they say in it, if your game is going 30 minutes or so, it must be your first game. And I can see that after you learn what these cards do, it's pretty quick to put them out. I put this out, put that out. I disable this. I don't tap it. I would never tap it because that's copyrighted. You know, it works, and it's a fighting game that I can get behind because it's not too long. It doesn't drag it out. It's quick to get rid of your guys, and you get down to the end, almost to the end, and you realize, yep, I've lost. He's taken 14 cards out of my deck. I've only got 3 police officers left. I'm getting killed next round. Well, going by the 3 that I judge things on, I guess Hero Brigade gets a 9.
The artwork's terrific on this. The gameplay itself works really well. It's not overly long. If you really know the cards well, you can play it quickly. But first time through, and frankly,
there's a lot of choices. You can't be that.
Yes, there's a lot of choices on this, and you got to think about strategy and stuff, what order you're going to do things in, and that. And again, like my peeve with card games or fighting games like this or Magic or something like that is you got your opponent laying his cards on his mat over there, and you got yours over here, and you're always picking them up to trying to, unless you know them really well, you're looking to see what they do in that. The mechanic where you shuffle and have to discard, every time you have to shuffle, you have to discard one, when you get through your deck. Or not discard, but again, banish. I'm sorry, confusing the terms here, but depleting the decks or defeating all 5 characters, leaving this whole board empty to end the game, or not being able to refill the 4 cards out of the replacement deck. All very cool mechanics, and they all work. They speed the game up tremendously, and that is what's really good about this game. You get all your dice supply to keep track of your hit points and stuff like that. It all works. Only qualms about it, again, for me, having to see what's that card do again, or busy placemats and stuff like that, and a couple discs here we don't know what they're for, other than they happen to be the same colors as your hero and villain decks. But overall, one of the better fighting games out there for sure. So 8.5.
Oh, I definitely like the heroes and villains. The theme is fun. I like superheroes and supervillains. I say this with any card game: expansions, because more choice, more stuff, like more good.
Yes, more. He wants more.
But
make some more.
As it is, definitely a lot of fun.
Like Hero Brigade, I give it an 8.5.
That's it for this episode of the Gamers Table Independent Edition. Tune in next week where we review another game.
Because that's what we do.
This game is fun.
And I like the humor in it. We're not quite done yet. Yeah, we like the humor.
Malediction Duck Pope, Wrath of the Duck God. Defeat all cards with 3 hit points or less.
Yeah.
Kaboom!
Yeah.